Hello guys, welcome to the HTML crash course for beginners. In this video, we will learn about the general syntax of an HTML element. My name is Kafri and welcome to my channel multi.dev. Please subscribe, like and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a content on the channel. With that said, let's get started. For my setup over here, I just created an empty folder called HTML overview and then I opened VS Code in it. So I'll just go ahead and then create a new file called index.html and then save that, and then this editor panel is open for me to start writing my code. Now HTML at its core is nothing more than just a collection of markup codes called elements. These elements specify the structure of your web page or your website. So the general syntax of an HTML looks like this. So I'll just use placeholder names here. These are not real elements name. So an HTML element starts with an angle bracket, then the name of the element, and then a closing angle bracket. Now you can see that I have this auto completion from the text editor. This is by the help of what we call Emmet. Emmet is a plugin that is built into the Visual Studio Code text editor. So in between the opening and closing tags, I put in my content and save. So now let me explain or go over this again. So in order to write an HTML element, you start with what? Angle brackets or angle braces, then the name of the element, then a closing angle bracket. So this becomes what we call what? The opening tag. Then you write your content, then you write angle bracket, then / the name of what? Your element, and then a closing angle bracket, and this becomes what we refer to as what? The ending tag. And then in between the opening and then the closing tags, you write what? Your content. So in between this opening and closing tag, instead of the content, in between them I can write another element. So I'll just say another element here quickly and then try to close it, and then I get this auto completion, and then I can put in my content here. So this is how the general syntax of an HTML element looks like. It's either we write one element or we can nest one element within another. There are other HTML elements that are referred to as what? Self-closing elements. So they also start with angle bracket, then the name of the element. So you can see that Visual Studio Code is trying to give me auto completion of what? These HTML elements. We'll look at them in subsequent videos. So over here I'm just trying to use placeholders to explain the syntax for you. So I'll just say self-closing element here, and then it goes like this. So the self-closing elements looks like this. It starts with an angle bracket, the name of the element, let me write closing properly, the name of the element, and then / and then a closing angle bracket. Now one thing about HTML elements is that we can put what we call attributes. So on the opening tag, I can put an attribute here. Now the attributes are used to modify the HTML tags in various ways by adding what? A value. So this attribute in double quotes, I can put a value over here. So this HTML element will be modified based on these attributes, and then we'll look more into details into that. Now this self-closing tool, I can put an attribute here. Let me just use placeholders name here, and then in the double quotes I'll put what? A value there. So in a nutshell, this is how the general syntax of an HTML looks like, and in subsequent videos we'll start looking much more into details into the real HTML elements that we have in HTML. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.